Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to be looking at Amazon, how we traded it, how we made over $200 day trading this, and the thought process behind the trade. So quickly, firstly we need the information of what we used for this trade, and this was down to Jeff Bezos selling off his shares, and what we really needed to know is what is kind of the floor price that he'll be selling these shares at. And this is what you kind of get from these reports. The lowest price, again, highest, lowest, so highest, lowest, highest, lowest, and then highest, lowest. So what we can see between this is the lowest floor price that he's willing to sell these shares is going to be that $200 level. So what this is really telling us, as soon as price kind of comes into this $200 level, we would expect the stock to kind of start selling off. And the reason for this is, again, he's still got about another $4 billion worth of shares to be selling. And so obviously as price keeps coming into this level, as long as he's selling, the price is going to keep falling. So that was basically the thought process behind this trade. And so that was kind of what we were thinking coming in today. And again, if we go out, if we zoom out on this chart, you can kind of see this is what's been happening for kind of the last few days. We keep coming into this range, selling off, coming into this range, selling off, range, sell off, and then even yesterday, which is the day we actually traded, sell off. Now, why did we not trade these days? Potentially we could have gotten here a bit earlier, but what we really wanted to be more sure on is what is his floor price, and it is kind of confirmed right now. Around $200 is where he's at, kind of the lowest he's willing to sell these shares. So as long as we're kind of getting shorts at 200 or above, we should be quite safe in trading these shorts. Now that's the thought process behind the trade. Now, how are we trading this? Yes, you could just buy outright shares, but really my trade plan on this more was be really just buying the puts. Again, these are going to be leveraged, but we can also kind of define that risk. And by leverage, I mean, obviously, when you're buying a put, you're paying a premium. So if you're buying them around $180, you're paying $180 to basically control 100 shares, because these are at the money. Again, these are 200 strike puts, and we're going to be buying these puts when price is around that $200 level. So that is kind of how we can pay $180 instead of having to, throw $20,000 into the trade. Now, how did we trade this? And again, literally just looking at puts, where's our entry as soon as price kind of comes into this $200 level. Now, you can see the trades that we took here. These are all the Amazon trades from yesterday, getting in as early as 9:54. So again, this is where we bought 8 contracts long, the 200 strike, and we paid $1.76 for these. So again, if we go onto the chart, where is 9:54, that's going to be this candle here. So we kind of got near enough the peak or the high of that move. And again, if we zoom into this chart, where is 9:54, 9:54 is going to be there. And again, we bought the 76 or 176, so we literally caught that low and then was in for that move. And again, the only reason we bought here was just because option psychological level 175, going to be a psychological level. Like if you're trading anything, if a stock's at $175, you tend to see a bit of buyers and sellers. So we kind of know buyers are going to be sitting on this $175 level, so we tend to go $1 above, or 1 cent above, and that will be the 176 entry. So that was why we picked 176 as our entry to get in down here. Now, what I thought was going to do, and this is where the trade plan came a bit wrong, was I assumed we would kind of keep getting these moves away and kind of keep trying to retest this a bit like we got yesterday. So again, if we zoom out to yesterday, what you can kind of see is we kind of kept coming into this level, coming into it quickly, selling off, coming into it, selling off. And these would have kept providing, 10 to 20% moves, and we could have just kind of kept scalping them. That is kind of the same trade plan I had coming into today. However, it did react a bit differently, as we can see. We kind of got a few touches on the morning. I don't like trading it kind of just as the market opens. I'd like to give it about 15 minutes or so to settle down, which is here. Again, we had no break above $200 until then 9:54, and that's why we decided to enter the trade there. So the trade plan was, get in and kind of scalp them to about here and then let them go back down. However, you can see VWAP on the option was around 186. And again, if we go to where we took our profits, that's going to be around 185. So on this, we did definitely take profits very early in that we took profits here. Again, the reason for this was I did kind of expect moves to kind of keep going here, break down a bit lower, get in, and kind of just be able to keep scalping this move. Again, trade plan was not 100% on this because we did just then get a massive sell-off instead. But again, we're not going to force trade. We're not going to try and catch this on the way up. We had our entry here. We scalped out. Either way, good scalp trade, good day trade, nevertheless. Then we were more patient then in the day. We can see, okay, and again, we are posting this in the Discord. So again, you can kind of see, and this will also be enabled. So again, this content is normally going to be uploaded in 2 places. It's going to be uploaded on my personal channel, Lumley Trading, and also a group channel called Able Trading. But again, these trades are going to be posted in both the Lumley Trading Discord, so join that if you haven't, and also the Able Discord. So again, join that if you haven't. But again, main trade here, we kind of put this out again at 9.54. We told Field, and that was our trade plan for those first contracts. However, that's not it. If you go over to our trades tab, which is where I'm going to start posting the trades we're actually taking, you can see 1 p.m. Again, this is all market time. My laptop's in market time, even though I'm currently in the UK. You can see again, price was down here as we put out this alert, and we kind of just said again, if we come back to test this $200 level, this is still the floor level to sell. So again, looking at it, short buys. And what happened? We got the exact same entry. We came into that level, shorted. Came into that level, shorted. And again, you can see we bought them at 170, scalped out around 185 to 195. And then again, we bought 2 more contracts. And again, we can show you these over on Thinkorswim, so you can kind of see what the thought process is behind these. So again, 5 contracts long. Reason we got less sizing, just because it was later in the day, in case we didn't get a massive move. Kind of just in case we wanted to hold them overnight, we could just reduce that size. Again, we scalped these out, 2 contracts out at 185 and the other 3 out at 195. Now you'll see we have 1 more buy order. This was executed at 350. Now, why did we enter this last order? So again, those first trades I was telling you was that one, and then you can see we got 1 more touch of this level at 1551. So again, if we're hitting that, again, we're still expecting it to sell off. So why did we enter here? Because again, we are expecting that reversal. So we got in at 165. Now we could have scalped this move. We did see it prop into about, I think that's about 8% of profit, but we can double check. So 7.5%, 7% worth of profit. But again, this is still our key sell zone. So the thought process behind holding this trade was, okay, if Amazon moves, the likelihood is it will move down. So we can be in for this swing and hopefully capitalize on quite a big gap. Even if it gaps down, down to 199, that would be quite a big move in these options. So you should be up around $100 overnight. Considering that's 2 contracts, that would be another $200. On the other hand, if it doesn't really gap, cool, we're going to lose a tiny bit in theta, which is kind of just the money options we'll lose overnight. Basically, their time decay. But, if we're losing that, we're probably going to lose $10, $20. So we can easily make that back on 1 move to the downside. On the other hand, could price open above this level? Of course, price always could. Is it likely? No, not really. And that's why, again, we kind of went to hold the puts overnight. Normally, I don't like holding these sort of moves overnight. But in this case, I think this is very unlikely. I'd say that's maybe a 5% chance. You've probably got about I would say maybe a 75% chance we open up here. And if so, then we take a small loss. But we don't even have to take that loss. We just wait for that move down and we'll be in profit. And then again, we got about a 20% chance, I would say, that we kind of move down. We kind of get a nice gap and these options can have a nice pop overnight. So that was kind of the thought process behind the swing. But overall, CPI would have just been released, so we can actually see what's happening with this. By look of Amazon, it was taken well. We can actually look at the futures, but it looks like we spiked off of this. We have, and what you'll see on Amazon, and again, I knew this was coming out. So if CPI came out negatively, that would have obviously helped this trade a lot more because we should have just had a big move to the downside. But in the case where it doesn't, or if CPI did shoot up as it has in this case, we kind of know again this is still the floor price for Amazon. So Amazon shouldn't really hold this level. Again, we kind of shot up off this news. Again, that's going to be expected. You're going to see that on Apple. You're going to see that on Nvidia. You're going to see that on kind of all these big names. However, we would expect this level not to really hold, and again to kind of sell off as we come into the open. So, and again, you kind of see it's already giving up this move while the futures are holding them. And again, that's just going to be because Bezos has probably already started selling his shares as it's coming into here. So again, that's the main trade plan. Bit annoying that CPI went that way, but overall, we are still looking for that downward selling pressure coming into the open. And again, each time kind of keep coming back into this level. Probably for the rest of this week it will be fine, just to kind of keep grabbing these puts, and that's how I'm going to look to trade it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.